Good evening, and welcome to another existential episode of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. Now here's your exuberant and exhausted host, Voice of Doom. Alright. I've been looking at the screen, thinking about a diatribe, and my stalwart fan, Nick, sent me a video telling me to watch it to see about the cabal of conspiracies that have been plaguing us for the last few hundred years. And I watched it, and I agree with a lot of what this person said. Hard Country, whatever his name is, a conspiracy theorist, I guess right-wing Christian. I mean, it's not an insult to call somebody that, as far as I know. But a lot of what he had to say made sense. But I was thinking I can email back and say what I think, but then I figure I'd just do a diatribe because a lot of stupid things have happened and in my life, in the microcosm, and of course, as you know, the microcosm reflects the macrocosm, and as my life goes, so goes the universe. And so I'm sorry, but I'm kind of in limbo. I'm not doing good, I'm not doing bad. And I spend a lot of time looking at obituaries of famous people who have died at various ages. And you realize, you just can't beat the law of averages, where the older you get, the closer you are to shuffling off this mortal coil and wondering what is in that undiscovered country beyond. And it's scary, but I'm not really that scared, but I'm just more like, I don't want to make a nuisance of myself. When you think about your own birth, old age, sickness, and death, that's the cycle of life. I'm sorry for everybody to tell you that. But birth, old age, sickness, and death means that sooner or later you're going to be incapacitated, and I don't want to be a burden. Because our resources, as much as they are, when I say we, I mean basically me and my kid, just don't want to have problems. And I feel like I'm being arrogant, asking the universe to, spare me of any undue repercussions for my past behavior. That's asking a lot. For any person, it's asking a lot. And I've tried to be good, and I've searched for the truth, but sooner or later life becomes precarious, because you realize that the intervals, the fractions, when you're 10 years old, you don't think that you're 1/8 or 1/9 through your lifespan. When you're 25, you don't think you're 1/4 through, if you're lucky. But then when you're 66, you go, actually, I'm getting to the point where I'm going to be average, and I'll be lucky if I go longer. Which is a weird feeling, because I think about things more than most people. I probably do. I'm not saying that as an arrogant thing. Just saying it from a person that was lucky enough to be born on this planet to learn a few things about the truth. And 99.999% of the people that I deal with aren't aware of that. And if they're not aware of it, I mean, even if they're aware of it, they don't try to incorporate it into their life. And I don't care about that. I wish more people practice Buddhism and proselytizing. But if they did, they'd have a daily practice that would be a guidance for them in their everyday life. And it's hard to explain in a few words, and I'm not going to do it. So I'll get on to a few little snippets and snappets that goes on in the news. As far as that video goes, the relationship between Israel and the United States is very long and complicated, and it goes back to the Old Testament of Judaism was the foundation for Christianity, and it all happened in that one little strip of land. It just, all hell's been breaking loose there for 2,005 years or more. But they're just so concerned with that little strip of land on the Mediterranean that they kick them out, and they come back and they kick them out. And even God, I don't want to get into it. When God sent Abraham into Canaan, he said kill everybody there, so we won't talk about that as far as the origins. But there's a relationship as far as the general public's idea, their schema of how things work using the Old and New Testament of the Bible. So that's why we are on Israel's side and always will be, and Israel's also the only civilized place in the Middle East, so you got to kind of figure maybe we're doing the right thing. Cause and effect. If you're doing the right thing, then you are prospering better. And of course the Mossad, and of course the CIA, and of course the deep state, and of course all the nefarious assholes that have been running this planet for 70 or 80 years, realizing that to maintain the military-industrial complex you had to constantly have conflicts. So simple what's happened. But I wanted to talk about a few little minor things like these. They are taking as their base their people that will vote for them through thick and thin, the lunatic fringe between the ages of 18 and 30, who are all clinically insane, and you simply tell them we'll give you all the free ice cream you want every day if you vote for me, and they get votes. So it's the Democratic, so-called Democratic Party has had to become like a 6th grade presidential election where ridiculous promises are made and accusations are flailed and thrown at people, and you make your opponent out to be the worst person in history, if not worse, and you get nowhere, and you go down and down and down. Now, in what ways have they done that? Well, Texas, we know you're going to gerrymander our state, and they're going to be all reds, and it's like, so instead of voting, we will run away and not do our fiduciary, whatever duty of being present at a vote when you are dealing with legislation in a state or nation. And I don't know anything about it, and I just reeled that crap off. But the D's have gerrymandered Illinois, and they've gerrymandered New York to the point where they can't, and Massachusetts, where they can't gerrymander anymore because they've actually made the state red for all eternity, or blue for all eternity, until that party is defunct, which should be soon, because not only are they running away from voting on a gerrymandering proposal in Texas, it's inevitable. They are wanting to subsidize people who are on their side. And it sounds small, but I have to talk a little bit, and I'm kind of behind the curve on this because everybody else has already wrung it to death. But Colbert, I mean, first of all, he still has a few months left. I mean, he has a few $1 million to be made. It's not like they just, in the old days, if you were done, you were done. They cancel you, you're gone. That show's over. Take the sets down. Goodbye. Just watching a thing about sitcoms in the 70s and 80s. Some of them became big hits, made history. And they made spin-offs off those same things, thinking they would make the same amount. Doesn't happen often, but they were bad. And the point of the matter is that I was talking about Colbert and the fact that they need to subsidize the D's, the liberal side. In the old days, we had SNL. They weren't always liberal so much as anti-government, but they, were edgy. Now you have to subsidize Colbert because he's a liberal. The show's losing $40 million a year. And they keep it on the air only because Colbert is so hateful against Orangey. So, and the same with PBS and NPR and all that other crap. We need government funds in order to keep going, because if we don't get it, nobody will listen to us. Or we won't have enough money to be on the air for people to even listen to us, because nobody listens to us. Well, that's the free market for you. And Colbert's made a lot of money, and I liked him better when he had his old show. He was a parody of a right-wing guy, and I liked him better then. Loved that show, actually. And then he turned into whatever he is. When I saw those hypodermic needles dancing around, that was one of the times I realized that our society was doomed. And I'm serious about that. I saw that and I go, yeah, we're being fed a bill of goods, and this whole country is going to be different after all this is over. And I was right. So, what did I want to talk about besides existential stuff as far as, going on? Oh, I came to a realization, and it's obvious, that the only way to really keep going is with volition. It's the most important quality in a person's life. It's the only thing that makes you look back and go, I did that. So, you can watch stuff and you can get a lot of ideas and you can matriculate all your thoughts watching YouTube 15 hours a day, and then sleeping, and then going to work and dealing with the general crowd, and then going back to YouTube, and you're just taking it in. You're just reacting to what you see, but you're not doing anything. You're not accomplishing a damn thing. Yeah, I'm gonna think about this. Well, at least I did the diatribe. That's one thing. No one will see it, no one cares, but at least I did it. And so that's one thing. But as far as volition, it's not just what you have to do, it's what you do when you don't have to do anything. That's volition. And that means create or build or clean or straighten up. That's the easy stuff if you really don't have much going on, but make your environment a little better. But volition, yeah, get something done. I mean, write a poem. How many people just sit down and write a poem? Haven't done it since 6th grade. But if you write songs and you want to be a rock star, then you write poems. That's volition. So that's what I have to kind of hope for is that I have enough volition. Because if I lose that, then the point of continuing in this desolate, miserable world, and I say that with all due respect, is pointless. Because the world is beautiful, but we've really mucked it up. I mean, everybody sees that. It's pretty obvious. We have beautiful resources. We have water, mountains, rivers, and we just killed each other. So, something to think about. I don't know if it was a good one, but I'll let it go and see what happens. See you next time. Goodbye.